2009 Kia Sedona fuel pump. So I just pulled the seat out. Now we have our cover here. We're going to peel this back and see what we got going on here. Alright, so 4 screws. I'm going to take those out and we'll pick up here in a second. Okay, I pulled one. Break that loose. It's a regular Phillips here. I don't know what size it is, but probably like a 3 or something. Those are all broke loose. I'm going to spin these out. Got the cover pulled back. Had to use a flathead to get up under this. I'm going to take these connectors loose and start it for a second. Run the fuel out of it. And then probably disconnect the battery and come back to this. But that's a quick way to get fuel pressure out the lines. Is if you're coming to it like this and you're doing a fuel pump, disconnect the lines, start it up for a second, and then let it run until it dies. Alright, the key is in it. I've disconnected the pump. I'm going to run it. Oh, this pump was completely dead. There's nothing in the lines, so we're good to go. Shouldn't be shit in the lines. Alright. Now you can disconnect the battery. If it's newer model cars, you might want to do that because it might fool with the sensors. You know, then you could always blow a fuse or something messing with the lines when there's power, but there shouldn't be any power coming to this right now, so I'm not going to disconnect the battery, but that's probably what the service manual says to do. Okay, there's rubber here. This rubber goes around, it's protecting the lock ring, so I'm going to get a flathead under it and pry it out. But I got a little bit of soapy water. It's really super light. It's basically water. I'm going to spray that on it instead of spraying grease or something, just so I can get, you know, I can wipe everything off, but also it'll be easier to get this flathead under here. Once I get it started, I'll just pop it loose and get it off of there. I still haven't disconnected the fuel line here. Okay, it's a lock ring that you gotta knock loose with the hammer. So what I'm gonna do is wipe it all down. You can see I pulled that rubber piece off. It just fits on there real nice and snug. So I used one screwdriver to pry on it a little bit, another one to get up under it. You know, I'm just telling you that so you don't damage it too much trying to get it out of there. It's not a real big deal, but you want to put it back. So yeah, there's no screws or bolts in this. You got to get a screwdriver or something, hit it with the hammer, hit it to the left till it breaks loose. I've seen a couple people have trouble with this. So what I'm going to do, because this is not the standard kind of lock rings that you're used to. Usually they give you a spot to put your screwdriver. This, it just gives you holes. So there's probably a special tool that Kia has, who knows. Anyways, the point is I'm going to spray some PB Blaster kind of in those holes, and then I'm going to tap the ring, go around it, tap it with the hammer and screwdriver before I start trying to knock it loose. Because I don't know what kind of trouble I'm going to have with it. I might tap it a couple times just to see if it comes loose easy, but I doubt it. So, sprayed in these holes with PB Blaster, because I try to knock it loose. I use this flathead here and this sledgehammer. That's like a 3-pound sledge. You might be able to get away with something a little lighter. I don't know, but anyways, when I just try to bust it loose with no lubrication, nothing, it didn't even want to budge. I sprayed some PB Blaster on it and I started hitting it to the right first. That's a little trick that you can use to break stuff loose sometimes, is try to turn it to the right like you're tightening it. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it often helps to break it loose, and it really is a trick I wish I would have learned a long time ago. So that's what I did here, and it started to spin. And now I've got it spinning to the left. So I'm going to continue hitting it with these two tools until it spins all the way out, and then pull this pump out. I'm going to get a little tub here to put it in. So as soon as I pull it out, you know, if I'm not dripping gas on the carpets here. And the ring is off. See, it popped up. So when you're putting it back in, you're going to have to hold it down and start tightening that ring up. So I spun the ring off already. If you want to get a look at it here, you can see, look, there was where the screwdriver started to tear into it. That's how tight it was on there. So I just tried as much as I can not to hit on the same hole too much. But it did damage it. If you get a big punch, you might do better. Something with a blunt tip. But, you know, that was a pretty wide head for a flathead screwdriver. But either way, it got it off. I know that PB Blaster had to have helped. Looks pretty corroded around the threads. So, see if I can pull it out here. Got my bucket sitting right here. A little wiggle. A little wiggle. Ooh, I can see the pump is full of fuel, so I'm going to be very careful to get it right over to my tub. Alright. And that fuel's just coming right out. Cool, so I can just flip it upside down, get that fuel out of there, pour it back into the tank, and sit this new pump in. Don't forget to swap out your O-ring. If for whatever reason you get it back in there and you forgot to do it, as long as there is one in there, I wouldn't sweat it, but you want to use the new one since you have one. So I'm going to wipe this off and pour this gas in there and get this thing back into place. Okay, I'm cleaning the inside of this lock ring, just using this wire brush. You can use something to that effect. Clean those threads off so that, you know, they make it easier to spin it back on there, so you're not hammering the hell out of it. Then if you look here, you can see it's cleaner, but there was a bunch of stuff that got in there, and I bet that corrosion that got in there seized it up too. So it wasn't just on the threads, it was on this outer part of the ring. Because look, if you see right here, that's like I've cleaned it. This is really hard stuff, so I'm going to clean that too. But yeah, I might get the wire brush in here if I can to clean it a little more. I'd like to clean the threads, but it's going to be really difficult to do with that wire brush. If you have a better way of doing it, you know, let me know. But I don't know how else to clean these threads, but they need to be cleaned. And I don't want to use, you know, sandpaper or something that's gonna, you know, mess the threads up. I need something to get in between the threads. But I'm gonna try with that little wire brush. Here it is, it's back in place. But here's the lock ring, and you can see it's hovering. You got to push down on it, and it actually makes contact with the bottom of the tank. I didn't realize that with the other one, but I had to double check, and that's how it is. That seems unusual to me, but when you get in here, you're gonna have to push down on it, get that ring on there first in the position, then push down on this and start tightening the ring. So if I don't get to finish it, that's basically it. And then we put those 4 screws back into this and put the seat back. Alright, got it back in. Everything's nice and tight. I beat that ring on real hard. Put the rubber gasket or seal back on into place. Now I'm just going to put this cover back in. Got 4 screws that goes on it, and flip this thing closed, put the seat back, and it's done. I accidentally left out the O-ring, so I had to take this thing back out to put the O-ring in. It was loose. After I tightened the ring, I couldn't make sense of it until I realized I left out the O-ring, which I could have swore that I put in. So be careful with that. Alright, but that's it. I just started it. It's running.